What's going on? Move the mouse here, back in City Skylines. Let's play Season 5, Episode number 9, The Town of Winterfell. And I said we were going to see it at night, so here it is. Sunset on the Town of Winterfell. We'll see what the Snowfall maps look like at night. Weirwood Park. Trees do look nice, the evergreen, conifers everywhere, kind of catching those last rays of sun. Get a look from back here, maybe at our clock tower. Too late. Missed the sunset. So as the lights start to fade up, one thing I love about the PC network skins, you can actually change the color of the lights and the different types of street lights. Unfortunately with this, you kind of get these very different colors around the 4-lane roads. And it has one look at daytime, and it looks very different and kind of jarring almost at night. I'm not a fan of that. I wish they would let us customize that a bit more. But I think it's kind of odd how just the 4-lane roads have those different lights. And you can see obviously where 4 lanes becomes 2 right there. One thing that we found out, I think in the last episode, it's incredibly disappointing, is we won't be able to build up into this mountain as I was hoping to. Really hoping to. That was going to be one of my favorite builds, I think. We may have to do this one on PC, look at the other Snowfall maps and see where we can build out. But I thought maybe we could kind of adapt and make this our little ski resort instead. Move this stuff out and do something down here in these hills. The dog is just pacing around, if you can hear in the background. Let me grab her collar. So that's one thing that I thought we might be able to work on. The other thing, obviously, that we want to get a start on is the industrial area down here. We can do things like cargo shipping, cargo port, do some interesting stuff down here. And rather than do farmland, I thought we could pollute a little bit and do some regular industry. And we have a ton of demand for it right now. So let's take a couple more looks at the town at night. In fact, let's let the game decide for us. We'll do a little cinematic camera. Follow some people around, get a couple shots of the city at night, and when we get back, it'll be daytime, and then at that point we can start to dive into an industry area, which I think would make sense for a project for today's episode. All right, so now that we've seen some of the city at night, let's go ahead and get working on this industrial area. If we take a quick look at our milestones, at 28,000, we're going to unlock the harbor and cargo harbor. The cargo version we could use down here somewhere. And then at 40,000, the cargo hub, and that's the one that also incorporates the train lines into it. We don't have to worry about bringing the trains down here just yet necessarily. We could do, like we did over here, a cargo train hub. That is an option, but we could also get that into a shipping port down here. So let's get a 3-way intersection up here. I'm going to use all the pre-built ones for now, but at some point in the future, I would like to come back and do custom intersections. Got a couple ideas for ones that I wouldn't mind building in. Whether they make it into this map or not, I'm not sure. But that looks pretty good. Let's snap that there. We'll go fix our broken bits of highway. That's not too bad. Then these should be pretty straightforward. I say that, but let's see how this snaps. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like it. So, coming in here, this is going to be a pretty big industrial park. right? We're going to use this space right here, basically this clearing between the trees. So let's kind of figure out where we want like our main kind of structure of the grid to be. And I was looking for industrial roads, but I'm used to playing on PC also, so those aren't in yet. At some point when the Industries DLC hits, it'll be there. So we kind of want to have a road running this way, I think, the bulk of our industry, but we might split this one up into two halves. So if we come into the zone about here, and let's go 50 units so that it's somewhat manageable. And this is a one-way road. We're directing all the traffic flow this way. And then off of here, I'm going to come in 20. And let's keep this gridded pretty tight. Actually, let's go 5 from there. We'll come out another 20 units, 2 big lines, and we'll kind of make this the structure of our industry zone right here. Whoops. Coming down this way. We'll get one more block in. We basically want to funnel all the traffic through the industry zone. And then we want to find a way to get it back out to the highway, which looks like right here. We'll come out a little bit further just so that it's clear. We'll come out to there, and then I want to hook this into kind of a road network. So I'm going to do... I'm going to do 4-lane so that it has that split. And then on the 2-lane highways, we will curve that in, and then we'll upgrade these last couple segments. Just so that there's not a lot of lane changing happening. So basically you have a T intersection on the highway. Basically you have 2 lanes, and they merge into 2 lanes here, 2 lanes here. And then over this way, so that will pour down into there. You know, come to think of it, I may not want to do it this way, because we're not going to have traffic coming back out this way. I don't want to put the returning traffic into that same 4-lane because it might encourage them to turn back in. I want to do that a little differently if they want to turn back in. So let's do this. Change of plans. So highway coming in, totally fine right here. To do it that way. We're going to leave this as zonable because we can put our service buildings here on that segment. And then coming back, let's kind of follow the same curve, but bring it over here. And then we'll do what I've done so many times, which is delete that middle segment of the bend so we can get a more natural bend into there. And now we've got that all hooked up. So very simple, right? Highway, a pretty simple start here. You've got a T intersection on the highway dumping 2 lanes into 2-lane highway, which becomes 2-lane one-way roads. And again, let's get our service coverage over here. The 2 most important being police and fire. And I think, yeah, that covers pretty good right there. So we'll do police there. We'll do fire right across the street. And it covers the zone very well. We're not going to zone off over here. And then we want to allow service vehicles or trucks going from one industry to another to be able to come back into the zone. Now for that, I think we can do a standard highway ramp. Only needs to be a single lane. And that can link up. Let's see. Kind of curve it. We'll curve it up a bit. So we can come back ever so slightly and have a little bit of a bend coming back into there, right where the highway becomes the two-way road. Right where the highway becomes the two-lane road. That gives service vehicles a way to come back in. What we could do is have a couple train stations even, one for each side of the zone. We'll be rolling in the dough by the time we need to worry about it. But we can put a train station right here. We can hook it up to cargo. We'll do some other things. Maybe even mirror this zone off over here and then have another split, another exit off the highway that carries down the other half of this industrial zone. So let's do this. Let's zone it as industry first of all. And we're not going to zone on this far side of the street. We could repeat services. We could do other things over here. Maybe even something like, you know, a bus station or a train station to get workers in here. We will do this half of the street. We'll break out our selection tool and de-zone some of this. That's a decent little area to start with, and then we can break out our heating pipes and bring heat on down here. $2,200 is that good overlap for heating pipes. And I don't think we're going to move anything up here, but just in case we do, it will all be covered, and then we can also branch these off this way once we're ready to spin up a second zone. These are going to have a little trouble with workers at first. It is a bit far out for some people, but they have easy highway access. That should be okay. We'll need to get power over here. We'll start with these buildings first. Let's see, can we go? Yeah, we'll go that side of the highway. So let's go ahead and hit play on that. We'll go 3 times speed. Let some of that build up. Hopefully that will pop up in no time because there is a ton of industry demand. The only thing we have meeting it so far is farmland. We could certainly spin up some forestry. We need more police coverage up here. A little too light. Fire coverage is a little light up there too. Let's throw another little fire station up here. And we'll do a little police station too. That should get most of that coverage in the green. Let's see. Let's just double check. Police and fire coverage right up here. Fire safety, the roads are mostly green. There's a little bit of a dry patch in the farmland, but they're surrounded by fire stations basically. 3 fire stations, some watchtowers. We're pretty good there. Crime coverage wise, again, 3 stations kind of surrounding the area. A little light in here, but they can get there. Wow, how is crime happening that close to the police station? Let's look at 10% unemployment. That's not exceptional, but it's not bad by any means, so. In case you were wondering if there was going to be a fire this episode, of course there was. Must be new here. All right, look at that. Industry filling up already. We could get a train station over here. We could get... Did I say we could do cargo? We can do a cargo train station. Do that right on this this leg. Can it fit? We'll do it back here because the train tracks are there, and if we do that, we have to mess with the roads or go over the roads. Here we can just run a train track right behind the zoning. We'll get that hooked up over across the bridge over here somewhere. Maybe we could do a little cutout nook going under the highway. Might be kind of nice. Let's see, we'll have to get power over here. I think we covered that with water. We should be good on that front. Let's pause real quick. Let's do our little trick here. So we'll go to the landscaping tool. We will pop in somewhere around here. Landscaping will lower the terrain here. Let's level it to about that height. That should be good. Let's see if that's enough. I think that is enough. Let's find out. So we'll get a train track under here. So I'm going to carry this past the station because we might have another... I think we'll have another train hub over here at some point. So let's make sure we have room to bypass the station if need be. Before we hook back up with the tracks on either side. That's plenty of room. Plenty of room. Gets us back over here to that way. Doesn't necessarily let us hook in going to that side. So let's see if we can do a long enough length here. That should be okay, but again, you got to make sure that this length is longer than a train so that a train can get stuck here to let another car go. If it doesn't, if it's too short, it creates this infinite backup. And it's something that I learned, I want to say Rockdale. I didn't realize what the problem was until very late in the season. So what are these? These are highways. I put the same road on. So this is going to try and follow the road. So we're going to break one segment of road on either side. I think I left enough of a gap there. Let's see. Basically what you want to do, let's get on our straight tool. Rather than have it follow the road, you want it to basically be a bridge right there. To right there. So we want to knock this down a little bit more. Because it was popping up, if you noticed. So we'll bring out the level tool. We'll level all that, and we'll smooth it out after. So just basically, so you see it's pretty flat, right? It doesn't mound up too much. That's where, or that's what I'm looking for. I was gonna say that's what we're looking for, but you might have a completely different aesthetic in mind. There's nothing wrong if you want it to mound up a bit at the bridges, but in my case, I just want it to be a nice, smooth slope. So as soon as we cut across the bridge, whoops. I need to do it a little bit differently, so I'm going to come out to here. We want to just clear the tracks. Before curving back down. That's a little bit of a mound, unfortunately. It's a little easier on the PC. If we wanted to take a little bit more time with it, we could, but I'm okay with that for now. We'll do the same thing here. We'll come just shy of the train tracks. It's a tiny little bit of a mound right there. You could totally fix that if you messed around with the terrain a little bit more. Or if you had movement on PC, you could just click, page down, done. But this achieves what we want it to achieve. It prevents the highway from getting disrupted. It doesn't look too bad from up top. Well, if we fix our roads and get those pop-ups out of there, it doesn't look too bad from up top. A little bit of a mound right there. It's one of those things we will fix later if we spend enough time in this city. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get this power connected, just in case. I don't know what that was. What was that running out to? Oh well. So we've got some industry filling up. We've got next to no demand right now, so that will cover us for a little bit. We've got to get more commercial and residential spaces. Commercial specifically. Let's see what we had going on over here. You have kind of the commercial is kind of acting as the main street parts, right? The parts that everybody has to traverse all the time. And then kind of tucked away are the more residential spots. Same sort of thing going on right there. We could do a little bit of commercial if we wanted. There's not much we can zone off over here. We'll come back to that. So let's see what we can do over this way. So since we're gonna have to scrap that idea of the ski resort up there. What if we had the ski resort down here? It may not be too bad, right? Still plenty of mountain, and we can build all the way up to this crest right here. Might be able to get a ski lift up this way. So let's scrap what we've built up that way, because then we can continue this kind of Main Street philosophy, have some more spaced out buildings up this way, extend the residential a little bit, maybe have another road that comes up over here and meets up there. But I think in the meantime, we've got to scrap this stuff. So let's move this first of all. Statue of Shopping. Let's see if we can get it down here. Not necessarily a bad spot. Doesn't move anybody out. Little plaza action. And then let's really rethink. We'll bulldoze. We'll bulldoze this road network. We'll bulldoze this road network and all the houses up here. We'll keep the pipes for now because we will be building somewhat back into here. But it's really unfortunate. One, that we can't build up into the area I wanted to use for a ski resort. Two, it's unfortunate I didn't check it first on a creative map. It's probably a good idea before you do embark on some crazy plans. So let's delete this. Good amount of cars down there. Get all these buildings out of here. All right, why can we not upgrade to that type? Are we gonna have to completely recreate this? We might have to. We're gonna break some stuff through there, unfortunately. This tree line on the other side, do we want to continue with tree line? I guess we could. On our way to the ski resort. What I want to do here real quick, before I get too far up the mountain here, is I want to just plan out a quick little couple ski paths. So let me time lapse this real quick. We'll find some places to carve some paths down the mountain, and I will be right back. So what I've done here real quick is just done some gravel footpaths down the side of the mountain to kind of give that indication of a ski trail, and I will fill in the trees a little bit so that the only obvious clearings, or the most obvious clearings I should say, are around those ski paths. And then use the cable car stop. You kind of have to orient these a little bit differently. So this has to be next to a road. and then you can connect it direct, basically. And this has to be next to a road, but this one is perpendicular, so it comes out the side of the building here. We have a road running this way, up and down the mountain, and the cable car stop comes into the side of the building. The end of the line runs parallel with the road. Just keep that in mind. You do have to put a road. Technically, this isn't serviced by anything, but I guess we should connect that with footpaths technically, right? We'll see if we can hide some of the smaller parks or monument buildings, unique buildings up here, to try and draw some foot traffic up and make it look a little more populated. But let's just do one trick real quick, and that's let's get these paths connected to the roads, basically. That people could technically walk from there and then walk down the trail. It would be nice, I guess, if we could have them walk from the ski lift over to the ski trails. And again, we'll fill that in with some trees so that it's not quite so obvious, but it will give kind of the right look, I think. What we could do, come to think of it, is I think the zoo paths, nature reserve paths rather, do have a lit option. We could do something like that. Can we upgrade these? Yeah, you can. Let's see what this would look like. So that doesn't look that different, and it's got kind of a, it's got a lighting system as well in it, so that may not be too bad. And I think, again, that's still, especially at a faraway clip, looks like a ski trail kind of cutting through the woods, and at night it will actually be lit up for the night skiers to hopefully not crash into trees. We do have a liability waiver form you have to sign before you can ski in Winterfell, so unfortunately, if anything happens accident-wise, be it collision with a tree, encounter with an undead army, any of those sorts of things that might happen out here in the woods of Winterfell, you know, we're not liable. Enter at your own risk, basically. Hey, so let's hit play and see what's happening over here. Okay, good. Fire department's already there. They're putting one of them out. Second truck. Third truck. Nice work. Okay, I was a little worried there for a minute. I do have bad luck when it comes to fires on my maps. Proactive approach. That target's on fire? Oh no, it just burst into flames. Where are the helicopters at? Oh my god. Alright, well, good spot to end today's episode. I will have had to have time-lapsed some of it because we're running a little long on the counter. Oh. Real quick, I guess I could do this. Before we go, is run some hot water up here. Now, we do have to figure out how we want to get this all kind of connected. We want to connect this into the road system, but I want it to really feather out here before it gets up to our little ski resort. There's a cable car. Let's actually, let's go to one of the ones up top. Let's follow that on the way down. Can we follow it in cinematic camera mode? I'm sure somebody told me this on the stream at one point. Work? There we go. A lot of cable cars. I should say chairlifts. These are posing as our chairlifts. They're just enclosed to keep you warm. It's a very fancy ski resort. Now, does this car just turn around in the station? Technically, it should. There we go. And we're going back up. So I think this gives it a pretty good look. We could even have a chairlift on either side of this, maybe, that took people up to other trails on different sides, rather than having to walk over after the fact. But either way, it's just a novelty at this point. I don't think anybody's actually going to be heading up there unless we give them a reason to. So we're going to have to tuck some Some very special, unique monuments or buildings. I keep saying monuments, but uniques, because we don't want some giant, massive structure up here on the mountain. We want to keep it looking small town. That's what Winterfell is all about. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, likes, comments, shares, all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. If you're new here, subscribe for more. Hit the bell to get notifications. Until the next one, though, this is oh, the poor pigs. Bacon, delicious. They make bacon the old school way by lighting the living pigs on fire. All right, looks like we're good here. Until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.